This is Storytelling with Puppets, and the story this time is called I Broke My Trunk. It's adapted from the book by Willems, and it's an elephant and piggy story. So to tell it, you need a piggy puppet and an elephant puppet. My elephant puppet already has his bandage on his nose, which is just a paper towel wrapped around it. And then you need one more puppet at the end, and I'm using a chipmunk for that, but almost anything else could do. So here's how the story starts. Hi there, I'm Piggy, and I'm waiting for my friend Gerald. He was supposed to meet me here. Oh, here he comes. Gerald, what happened?
I broke my trunk.
Oh, how?
Well, it is a long, crazy story.
Oh, tell it.
Well, I was playing with my friend Hippo.
So I'm going to break off just for a second. This story, one of the tricky parts of telling a story like this, it's only two puppets. And in this one, they don't really have a lot to do. There's not a lot of action that happens on the stage. It's more telling about things that happened. So a couple things to help make the story come alive. One is the puppets need to talk to each other, but they also talk to the audience a little bit. So they're doing a little of this and a little of that, involving the audience in the story. When they talk to each other, they can be more or less animated. When they're saying something that's a little bit more energetic, they're moving more into the center of the stage and kind of pushing the other one to the side, so they're more the center of things, and the opposite way too. And of course, their voices can be however you want them to be, but they have to be very distinct. And the book itself really kind of guides you as to what their personalities are like, and you try to capture that as best you can with your voices and your facial expressions as you're doing each character. So on with the story.
Well, I was playing with my friend Hippo, and I had an idea. I decided I would try to hold Hippo on top of my trunk.
Why?
Because.
Okay. And there's another example where you can't do a lot of facial expression on a puppet. So when Elephant is kind of thinking about why he did that, as a storyteller, your facial expression and your head motion sort of reflect that pondering that he's doing, and the kids kind of attribute that to the puppet too, even though it's happening on your face. Okay.
So he got on my trunk, but Piggy, it is very difficult to hold a hippo on your trunk.
Oh, is that how you broke your trunk?
No, there is more to my story.
What happened next?
Well, Rhino came over. He wanted to play too.
And did he play?
Yes, I lifted Rhino on my trunk, and I'll tell you, Piggy, it is very difficult to hold a hippo and a rhino on your trunk.
Is that how you broke your trunk?
No, there is more to my story.
And you can see this sort of motion of a little bit of hesitation, and then no, Elephant coming over here into Piggy's face a little bit, and then although he's talking to Piggy, now he's telling the audience, there is more to my story. So that physical pattern will be repeated again a couple times, or one more time. What happened next?
Well, Hippo's sister came over.
Hippo has a sister?
Mm-hmm. A big sister. And she brought her piano.
Ooh.
Piggy, I have to tell you, it is very, very hard to hold two hippos, a rhino, and a piano on your trunk.
Oh, is that how you broke your trunk?
No.
Gerald? How did you break your trunk? So there's a little moment where it shifts a little bit. So you quiet it down a little bit, get the two together, Piggy talking quietly, and then sort of that little explosion where she yells really loudly. And Harold, I like to have Harold do his little response to that in kind of slow motion, so like sort of flipping over like, yikes, like that, to make it more extreme.
Well, I was so proud of what I had done that I wanted to tell my best friend all about it. So I ran and I tripped. I broke my trunk.
So that's how you broke your trunk?
Mm-hmm.
Gerald, that is a crazy story. That is a funny story. I like that story so much, I want to tell it to somebody else.
Okay, go ahead.
That is such a funny story. I'm going to run to find another friend. I'm going to run and run and run and whoops! Yikes!
Crash!
Hi there, Piggy. How's it going? Oh, Piggy, what happened to your snout? Well, it is a long, crazy story. So at the end there, just to make that nice conclusion, you make Piggy run, and then, I like to slow down that trip instead of having him just run, and trip and crash like that. I have it be a nice, big, sort of theatrical trip, and then he falls down below, and that's where, this is just a little paper towel. It'd be fun to use real Band-Aids or something, but I almost always go for the simple prop. So this is just a little paper towel taped into a little half cup. And then when Piggy falls, I just kind of put that onto his snout, and it only has to stay there for just a couple seconds. So I sort of fit it onto his snout, to her snout, and then up she comes. And then you just sort of let the kids absorb what just happened before bringing your other puppet up to observe, and then finish with that just right closing line of, I broke my snout. So that is the story of I Broke My Trunk, based on the book by Mo Willems, and that's one way to tell it with puppets.